U.S. men's team had a rough World Cup qualifying window. They came away with 5 points, which at the end of the day wasn't the worst thing that could have happened, but their performance was definitely lacking. And whenever a team's struggling, a lot of people like to point to the manager, and maybe rightfully so. They deserve some of the blame. But in this game against Honduras, I just wasn't seeing any of that. What I saw was a lack of individual effort, awareness, and execution, and I'm going to walk through some of those. So we're going to start off in the second minute. McKenzie's going to get the ball here, and he's going to turn up field. He has a couple options in front of him, but he doesn't seem to be even looking for them. Instead, he just kind of boots the ball upfield. It's aimless, and it's just an unforced turnover. All right, we're going to pick it up here in the fourth minute, and the ball's going to get cycled to Brooks. Now, he's going to have Acosta and McKenzie in front of him. Neither of them do a good job of moving into a passing lane. What I mean by that is getting into a position in which there's an unobstructed path from Brooks to either McKenzie or Acosta. And what that does is it allows the Honduran attacker here to not only press and close down Brooks, but because their angles are so shallow to Acosta and McKenzie, he's also cutting off those options as he's pressing Brooks. So this kind of just invites the pressure back, and Brooks has to turn it and pass it back to Turner, and because the pressure's coming his way, has no other option than just hit it downfield, and it becomes just an easy turnover. This play may seem insignificant, but it's an early indicator that the players on the field are not in sync, especially in possession, and it foreshadows the poor performance that's coming. Okay, not a good start so far. We're here in the 6th minute, and the U.S. is on the attack. The ball gets tackled away and ends up falling in front of McKenzie. Now, McKenzie's running for this ball, and he's going to get to it easily, and he'll have potentially a couple options in Acosta, and Pulisic looks like he's working wide. Now, he, again, like I said, has time and space, and there's basically 3 U.S. players and only 1 Honduran defender. And what happens is the Honduran defender cuts the pass off smartly, but there's too much time and too much space to be making this error. He just gives it away, and Honduras is off and running the other way. Okay, so seconds later here, Tyler Adams is going to try to make a tackle on the ball, and he does a good job of anticipating this pass coming out to the wing, but he runs in way too deep and catches himself flat-footed and takes himself right out of the play instead of keeping the ball in front of him and trying to stall this play out. Later here in the 16th minute, Sands does a decent job of anticipating where this pass is going to be, but he takes a way too harsh of an angle and takes himself out of the play. And not only does he do that, but he vacates space in the middle and leaves way too much space for Honduras on this attack. All right, so here's Honduras's goal. Brooks is going to anticipate this pass and step up in the middle, though you could argue that the mids in front should be handling this. Right now, the 2 mids are taken out of this play with just this one pass. So Brooks steps up, and if he interrupts this play, it's a good play, but unfortunately he does not stall this play out. By doing so, he vacates space behind him, which leads to more trouble as this play develops. Adams is caught in no man's land, and this ball is easily played through to the wing. So by Brooks vacating his spot in the back, now the U.S. is scrambling, and even though they have numbers back, they're still not organized, and you've got 2 Honduran attackers here, one on the near post drawing 2 defenders, and one on the far post is just going to have a free header. This type of play just shouldn't be happening. It's just a total mental lapse by the back line. Minutes after giving up the goal, the U.S. is going to get exposed on the same side here. This ball is going to go out to the sideline, and I want to draw attention to Brooks and Robinson in the middle, who are a little more concerned with sprinting back than they are assessing the actual threat of the attack in front of them. And in doing so, they create the space for the Honduran attackers. The Honduran attackers virtually do nothing here, and they're allotted an opportunity to have space in the middle, and you'll see this ball be played through. Now Adams is forced to move to the inside to mitigate the immediate threat, which are these two attackers now that have space. And the Honduran left winger is going to come wide and be just totally open on the side of this pitch. Luckily for the U.S., the attacker here takes a shot selfishly and doesn't lay it off. But if he does, it's going to be all kinds of trouble, and it could easily be 2-0. Okay, skipping forward to the second half here, there's going to be another unforced turnover. This time it's by Kellen Acosta. And it's another one of those plays where there's just too much time and space to be making mistakes like this. He's looking to play this ball down the wing, but him and Anthony Robinson are not on the same page at all, and he just passes it right to the defender. Easy giveaway. Okay, last play here. The U.S. is going to get the ball after the Honduran goalie clears it downfield, and it's going to come to Leggett here with plenty of time and space, and instead of either collecting the ball or passing it to someone who's open, he just tries to flick it forward in a rush and turns the ball right over. Now, this game's still tied, so these unforced turnovers are potentially stacking up against the U.S., and what you'd like to see going forward is to get rid of these mental lapses. I mean, the more chances that you give the other team, just the more likely they are to get quality goal scoring opportunities. And, you know, this is coming from someone who wants to see the U.S. succeed. So, yeah, we can complain and moan about the manager and say it's tactics, it's lineups, it's whatever. But it's really like some of these individual efforts just need to be flat out better. I mean, it doesn't matter what formation you are. If you're executing like this, like, it just flat out doesn't matter. So hopefully the U.S. can take kind of these lessons learned going forward and, you know, improves on the next World Cup qualifying window.